Going on, my fellow miners? Welcome back. Sorry, I took a bit of a break. I took like 2 days off. Just not really much going on as far as like news wise goes and whatever. I mean, look, mining wise or cryptocurrency wise, we didn't really get much going on this weekend. So let's take a break. But I did do something this weekend. Let's paint the picture here really quick for you. All right. So I recently picked up a 2080 Super to add to my slowly growing collection of GPUs. And the problem with that 2080 Super was that it was a 2080 Super that required water cooling. So, picking up this 2080 Super that required water cooling, uh, I didn't want to have to water cool my entire rig, right? So I was kind of left with a bit of a dilemma. And this is the EVGA Hydro Copper 2080 Super. So I was kind of left with a bit of a dilemma here. Do I water cool my whole system, make the 2080 Super my main GPU, and then take off my 3060 and have my 3060 for mining and just be done with it that way? Or do I decide to maybe go and turn it into a hybrid GPU? Hybrid meaning not fully water cooled. It is a half water cooled GPU, half fan cooled GPU. So I decided to go the hybrid route. Now I did manage to pick up this 2080 Super for a decent price. After tax and shipping, came out to about a little over 700. So not too bad. I mean, it's more affordable than a 2080 or than a 3080 currently, or 3060 even. So I now have a water block that is not being used. I have no idea what to do with it. Maybe I'll just hold on to it, and if I need it in the future, then I'll have it. But I have here right next to me the 2080 Super. It is currently mining. And so my question today that we're going to take a look at and we're going to talk about is water cooling really worth it for mining? It's an added expense and it does use some more electricity. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have right here. I'm just going to pick up my camera. We're just going to move it right over here. So right there we have the 2080 Super is right there. And then this is obviously the radiator for it. My PC doesn't actually have enough space into it to mount the radiator. The other PC that I have does have enough space. It's a larger case. It does have enough space to put in the 2080 Super and all that stuff. But do I really want to do that? I personally don't. And I just turned that over. My bad, guys. My bad. I'm sorry. I just gave you guys a bit of a headache and I lagged my computer. So anyways, is it really worth it to put it into the PC? Probably not, because it takes up too much space as far as like card slots go. I think it's like a 2.5 card. Yeah, with the water cooler, it's about 2.5 card slot. So anyways, is it worth it to water cool the cards? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And before we flip on over to, I guess, the screen where it's mining, let me know if you have any water cooled cards. Do you think it's worth it? And hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. There's a lot of you guys who are not yet subscribed to the channel. Hopefully we get to see you guys hitting that sub button, turning it gray. With that being said, also keep in mind there are imposters and impersonators of the channel down below, and they're going to be commenting on you. There's only one of me. I can't keep up with all of these, bots and all that stuff. I do my best to try to delete their comments and keep the chats or the comment section as clean as possible. But without further ado, let's go ahead and switch it over so we can bring up the mining section and all that stuff. Okay, so currently I have it mining on Kapow, and it's doing pretty decent. It gets around 31 mega hash on Kapow. On Ethereum, it gets around, crap if I remember. About 45 mega hash. Honestly, on Ethereum, it's weird. It doesn't do much better than a 2070 does. The 2070 for me on Ethereum mines about 41, 42 mega hash on Ethereum. So the 2080 Super doesn't really mine much more than that. It goes 45 to 47 is what I've noticed on Ethereum. Where it does shine, though, it seems to be on Kapow and on Conflux. I haven't tried it on Ergo yet. I'll try it, maybe a different video, whatever. But on Conflux and Kapow, it actually makes a huge difference. Right now, you can see it's mining on Kapow. It's doing almost 32 mega hash. If I crank up the power limit, I can get it to go to 32, but honestly, at 75, it's fine. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, I could even lower it. That's the crazy thing about this card. I can lower the power limit all the way down if I'm mining Ethereum. I can lower it all the way down, and when I say all the way down, I'm talking about like 46 on the power limit. I could lower it all the way down, and it would be staying the same at the 45 to 47 mega hash on Ethereum. It's really, really cool the way that it does that. For just shits and giggles, we're gonna do it anyways. I want to see what it goes down. I haven't tested this on Kapow yet, but anyways, what I like about this, about the whole water cooling card is that when I'm mining, it doesn't matter what I'm mining, but you can see right here, mining Kapow. Look at the temps, right? The temps are ridiculously low. 41C on the temps, and of course, like I said, it's water cooled and fan cooled. But okay, so lowering it all the way down to 46, it's dropping the mega hash immensely. It's going down to 28. I mean, I like to have it around the 30-31 mark, but we'll mess with that in a second. I just wanted to take a look at the temps because the temps are nuts, right? And then obviously the fan speed, ignore the fan speed, just leave it on auto because the fan speed does whatever it's gonna do on the card. But anyways, let me actually turn the power limit back up. Let's go 60. I think 60 is fine. Probably want to do 65. Anyways, so what I've noticed, doesn't matter what I'm mining, the temps never go really above 45. Probably would change if you're in a case and you close the case. Depends on the airflow for the case and so on and so forth. So if you have a case that has good proper airflow, then you probably won't see the temps like jumping up that much. Whereas if you had a case that has bad airflow or a smaller case, then you'll see those temps jumping up quite a bit because the radiator does heat up quite a bit. What I do like about it though is that even the radiator is not really that hot. Like I can touch the radiator and it's not hot. It's barely even warm, to be honest with you. All right, so at just power limit 60, it's settling at 24 mega hash. Yeah, we're raising that back up. We're raising that back up to 75. I need that 31. That is too much of a jump downwards for me. But anyways, like I was saying, I mean, that's what I've noticed. On Ethereum, I can turn that power limit all the way down, get full hash rate. On Conflux, I think I can do the same thing as well. Conflux seems to be more memory clock based. The other thing too is depending on what I'm mining, I can crank up those memory clocks quite a bit because it's water cooled, because the temps are staying so low. I can crank that memory clock up. If I am mining Ethereum, the max that I was able to go before I started getting any sort of issues was 1600. And when I say issues, I'm not talking about issues where I'm crashing. I'm talking about issues where it's saying that it's the overclocks are too much. Basically, you're getting the errors that say that, oh yeah, the overclocks are too much. Conflux, on the other hand, seems to be fine at 16, even 1700 on the memory clock, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? Like, it's just not even my 3060 can go up that high. That's a lie. It can go up to about 16, but it's not accepting as many shares at 16. Whereas Whereas on this 2080, it does. I'm actually very impressed with the 2080. Here, let's go to 15. Although I don't think on Kapow's not really so much on memory. It's more so on power limit. Like if I cranked up that power limit, that hash rate would go up immensely. But the problem is that I'd be using up a lot more power, and that's the downside, right? That's the downside when it comes to this 2080, is that it's a power hungry card. It uses two 8-pin connectors instead of like one 8-pin connector that's on my 3060, or one 8-pin connector on my 1080, or one 8-pin and one 6-pin on my 2070. This thing is like, it's power hungry. And then on top of that, like I said, I'm running the radiator and the fans, which is going to draw more power from the system. So that's the downside that I see. But overall, like I'm actually seeing a lot of positives with running cooling, like with running cooling, with running a a hybrid on the system. But again, it's one of those things that, like, is it worth it? Here's what I say. If you're running a system that has maybe one or two cards and you want to do cooling on them, so that way you can mine and they stay cool, I say go for it. That sounds like a good compromise, right? So like if you're running like two 2080s or two 3080s or whatever, and you want to water cool a system, go for it, right? Like those are the only two cards you're running, go for it. But if you're running a whole bunch of cards, also, by the way, when I put it up to 1500 megahertz on the memory clock, it bugged out, so I had to change it back to 1400, and it was fine. So Kapow didn't like it at 15. But yeah, I mean, if you're running multiple cards, it doesn't make sense to have all your cards water cooled. It's just too much. Like if you have a big rig, I don't have a big rig, but if you have a big rig, it doesn't make any sense to do it that way. Just for fun, I'm just gonna crank up the power to 100%. But yeah, if you got a small rig, just one PC, and you have two cards in there, and you want to water cool the cards, you know what? It actually makes sense, because you're gonna keep your temps down. You're gonna be able to push the cards a little bit more, as opposed to just air cooled. So that's my 2 cents on it. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below regarding water cooling or hybrid cooling, because it's interesting. I've never water cooled a GPU before, or hybrid cooled a GPU. So I find this very interesting. Now, it does take up more room on my desk. There is that. But it's cool to look at. My kids like looking at it too. So, I mean, it sounds good to me. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. I know, just kind of like a weird ramble video, but it just, again, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, because this is, to me, it's interesting. Maybe it's not for you, but whatever, I don't care. It interests me. Okay? That's what's important. It interests me. Also, at 100%, temps went to 52C on Kapow. Nice. And we're looking at 33 mega hash, so not really worth it, because it only puts it up 2 more mega hash. It's not really worth it. But if it kept going up, if I let it go up, then fine. Actually, I'm going to pause this really quick. Yeah, so the mega hash just only went up to 33.79. Not even worth it at that point. So I'm gonna mess with the power limit. I think I'm just gonna go back down to 75. I think that was a good spot for it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Everybody hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys next time. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out, guys. Oh, and happy mining. It's been a minute since I recorded a video, so I forgot to say happy mining. Happy mining!